Hey guys, welcome back to Statchat Sports. It's Steve. I'm of course joined with TV. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm well, mate. I'm very well. I'm looking forward to this episode. It feels like it's been a long time since we've recorded one of these Premier League podcasts. There's a bit of a break there.
Yeah, it's been way too long. It'll be good to have another look and see where we left off.
Yeah. I mean, there was a international break. I think when we recorded last time, I think we might have incorrectly identified it as a winter break, which it wasn't quite. An
Yeah,
international break for the players. So I felt like a long international break. I don't recall them normally going for 2 weeks and a bit like that, but
no, I'm sure it was much needed for the players. Definitely, the schedule seems to have really condensed over the Christmas period, but I'm sure they're raring to get back into it just as we are.
yeah, man, absolutely. One thing I do just want to quickly touch on is towards the tail end of that international break, there was the final of the African Cup of Nations. It involved
Yeah,
two of Liverpool's forwards, Senegal and Egypt. Did you catch any of it? Did you see any of the action?
I didn't personally. I did happen to see the result and the way it finished, though. It was quite interesting.
Hmm. Penalty
It
shootout
was,
with no Salah taking a penalty.
yeah, that's an odd one, that. And I think Jamie Carragher come out and said it was just absolute madness. Like,
It's
you've got
yeah,
one of the best. I mean, Salah's been banging in penalties for Liverpool for God knows how long. Yeah, well, when Milner's not there, it's usually him,
mm,
and vice versa. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you want, if it's a pivotal kick, yeah, you probably want him there, but you also don't want to run the risk of him missing, which he did. It
yeah.
just blows my mind.
I think that's the main argument when it comes to penalty shootout is a lot of teams put their best penalty taker in the fifth position because if
Mm,
one penalty gets missed, 9 times out of 10, that fifth spot is the one that determines match. So
yeah,
you want your best penalty kick taker there, but then you run the risk of at the same time them not taking a kick at all, which happened
yeah,
in this
and
case.
with Egypt, there's such a golfing class between. I think there's only 4 players in the Egypt squad that started that final that were not playing in the Egyptian league, in their top tier league.
Yeah,
So
okay, wow.
there's such a golfing class in that team. I mean, you just want to get, to me, you just want to get runs on the board.
Hmm.
So you put him, you can put him late, you can put him third or fourth, but fifth, just, yeah. I mean,
But
it's
even if you do plan to put him fifth, but then what happened was obviously they missed a couple. Just bump him up the ranks. You got to
yeah.
get at least
It's
one on
not
the
a set
board.
order.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Get one on the board. Get some confidence flowing in the team, and then you go from there. I don't know if it's
yeah,
a
absolutely.
not necessarily an ego thing, but if it's a like a certain player wants to be in the limelight, like oh, I won my team the penalty shootout because I took the last kick. You know what I mean? But at the end
Yeah,
of the day, you play for the team. They wanted to win the trophy, so
yeah,
you just
yeah.
take a kick whenever you're told to.
Yeah. Look, Senegal, I think overall, I think they're worthy winners. Um, Egypt had probably scraped through a fair bit. They won the
Yeah,
last, just to get there. I think the last 2 games are on penalty shootouts
yeah, I think you're right.
from memory.
Yeah,
So I think Senegal, on in the balance of things, probably deserved to be there, to lift the trophy.
yeah,
So
yeah. And good, of
yeah,
course,
it's
for Mane to lift it, but of course, it's disappointing for Salah. So
yeah,
he returned straight back to Liverpool, and there was a few photos going around of him and Klopp, and he looked a little bit upset, as you would.
you would be, yeah,
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
expected.
oh, 100%. Yeah, I think Mane's still he's not back yet. He a little bit of an extended break for celebrations, but
Yeah.
so he missed out on Leicester. But
Mhm.
we'll get there. But no, that's just interesting. I just wanted to just curious to see if you caught any of it at all. Like it's definitely not as popular as the likes of the Euros, but
Oh,
it's
definitely not. Yeah.
no, but it's still an important international competition for the nation of Africa. So
Yeah,
what?
from a Liverpool perspective, sorry, just to keep going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
AFCON,
Mm,
um, it'll be interesting to see how it affects Mane because I feel like his form had dipped coming into AFCON,
hmm.
and with the result, he was the player of the tournament,
He had
and
a good
rightly
tournament.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that can only bode well for Liverpool.
Mm.
He should come back full of confidence, ready to go. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it affects his the rest of the season for him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be good to see him come back and continue that form.
Yeah,
Excuse me, into
definitely.
the Premier League. So it's definitely something that Liverpool would need. So
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Okay. Whew, after a good week and a bit, 2 weeks of no Premier League action,
Mhm.
we've once again returned. The Sunday, last Sunday just gone. That game was, I believe, a catch-up game, a bottom of the table or relegation battle clash, should we say? That was Burnley Watford.
Mhm.
That didn't turn out all that exciting. I think you could have maybe expected that sort of result.
Yeah, I think the less said about this, the better. Probably.
Yeah.
It was a bore fest.
I
If you
don't know
ask
if you
me.
actually saw it, but the weather looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah, not ideal for football, but I mean, we're already pressed up against it with time
Mm.
to play those fixtures. So I mean, the game goes ahead, and yeah, I mean, it's obviously wasn't great weather for banging in goals, and it showed.
Yeah, definitely. But like you said, the less said about that game, the better, and we'll swiftly move on.
We'll move on, please.
We'll move on. Yeah, I think one of the
Mm.
more exciting games, I reckon, for personally anyway, was Newcastle Everton. I think
Oh yeah.
I know you're a
Mm.
big fan of Newcastle.
Yeah, yeah,
they're starting to tick. Something there is starting
yeah,
to tick.
yeah,
They won.
yeah.
I had Everton down as a win. You had Newcastle down. I think I'm quickly learning not to tip Everton because it looks like they're
Yeah,
not getting any better anytime soon.
what did they win? It was 4-1 in the FA Cup. I'm pretty sure midweek.
Mm.
Oh, not midweek, on the weekend, whenever it was. Just previously with their previous game. So I thought Lampard may have turned a corner with that team.
Mm.
Maybe something had clicked. Nope. No.
Yeah.
Everton are really being dragged into what an unlikely relegation battle.
Yeah.
The teams below them seem to just they're not winning, but they're getting points here and there.
Mm.
But Everton just sliding,
Yeah.
and it's odd. But yeah, Newcastle were good value. I'm not sure if you saw Trippier's goal.
I certainly did. I did. That was
Not bad.
That's a good free kick. It's a good free
Yeah,
kick.
it was. Yeah, and I mean they weren't. They were better than that. Like they did really well, and I think they're out of the bottom four. Sorry, three. I think they're fourth last. They would be 7th, 8th now.
They are 17th now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they're full credit. That's probably where they deserve to be at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. 100% agreed. Like it seems like now that the window's closed and they've got all their signings in and they're starting to get some game time together, the new boys, it's definitely starting to click there.
Yeah,
I think we're starting to see a bit of a run from Newcastle now, and they might, there'll be a few stumbles here and there, but I think this is the start of them really starting to pull away from the pack a little bit
and cementing their Premier League status. Yeah, I think so.
And for Everton, it's almost kind of the opposite. They're now 4 points behind Leeds, who are a position above them. Granted, they have 2 games in hand, or 1 game in hand on Leeds, but you don't want that gap to be getting any bigger, because then you're really starting to struggle.
They don't look like winning to bring that game in hand back to a point either. So I mean, games in hand for me don't matter a hell of a lot when you're down the bottom end of the table. I mean, because you're not getting the points. Like it's different when you're up the top. Games in hand generally represent 3 points, but when you're down the bottom, and with a 4-point margin to the next team above you, it's kind of
even that one game in hand is a win. You're still left a point behind.
You're still, and given the fact that you are near the bottom, that win's pretty unlikely too.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point and an interesting point of that. Yeah. No, that makes sense. West Ham played out a 1-0 win against Watford. That was Watford's second game in about 4 days. I think that was an expected result. We picked them both for a win. It obviously probably wasn't as convincing as I thought we might, as I think we had it initially. But you look at the stats and possession wise, West Ham dominated that game. Not a whole lot of chances for both sides, but Yeah, I think it was that was an expected result, really.
Yeah, I think we probably expected a few more goals from as far as West Ham were concerned, but yeah, I mean, West Ham did what they needed to do. Got 3 points. They move on. It's at this point in the season, just grabbing 3 points is all you can ask for.
And those 3 points lifted them back into fourth now, which
Yep.
was a crucial for them because Man United dropped points around them. Arsenal picked up points around them. We'll get to them, but in terms of them, they, like you said, they did their job. They needed to win, and they
Yep.
did. They reclaimed their fourth spot. Speaking of United dropping points, 1-1 to Burnley.
Yeah, that was. I thought United were quite good. They're obviously unlucky to drop a few points there. They had a couple of goals disallowed. The Varane goal, that was the first goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, do you think that should have been chalked, or the Maguire offside potentially blocking the run?
I don't think so. I thought it was a legit goal. Watching it back, I thought I didn't think there was a hell of a lot in it. Yeah, if you're not a United supporter, you'd feel pretty aggrieved.
Yeah,
but yeah, and that Burnley goal. I mean, it was a nice pass, and the Rodriguez finish was quite nice. But I mean, what was Maguire doing?
That was my next question. Was the defending on behalf of Maguire, or again from the captain anyway.
Yeah. And you add a captain next to that, and you're just thinking, what are you doing? It was all over the place, just like a baby deer.
Bambi on ice.
Couldn't find. Yeah, Bambi on ice. That's it. That's exactly it. Just it was pretty woeful, and I just don't know how much better they're going to get when they got a guy like that at who's meant to be your rock at the back. Just a weak link. Constant.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like it's getting any better. United.
No,
it's getting progressively. You could say progressively getting worse and or staying the same. I haven't had the peak turnaround that they were expecting since Ranieri came in. So
the attack, there was plenty of attack there, and I mean, when you verse Burnley, I suppose that's to be expected. But and once again against Burnley, you shouldn't expect too much coming back the other way.
Yeah,
I saw a heat map essentially of possession with all the 20 Premier League teams, and like where the opposition was controlling the ball versus that team. And Burnley's, they concede so much possession, it's not funny.
Yeah.
So they're only really going to hit you on the counter attack, and that's pretty much what they did against United.
The decision to leave Ronaldo on the bench for that game, he came on, but of course he didn't start.
Yeah.
Would you have started him?
I mean, on the face of it, it's Burnley, so probably not. It's easy to say that it would have been that you should have started it, but yeah, I mean, Burnley's a relegation candidate. I mean, if you're going to rest players, that's where you should do it. But I mean, they got knocked out of the FA Cup. Why not rest players? You've got less tournaments now, so why not rest players in those kind of times? So yeah, I mean, there's arguments for both, but yeah, I think he should have started. Yeah.
I mean, you're not expected to see a player like Ronaldo on the bench, but Brainiac showed that he's not afraid to do it. He doesn't care. He's the manager. If he wants you on the bench, and give a shit who you are, you're going to go on the bench. So there's obviously a reason behind it. Was it justified in the end result? Probably not. But look, we're not the managers. We don't know the conversations that go on. So, like you said, there's an argument for either way.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's 36 or whatever he is. Is he potentially starting to feel a little bit more these days? So he's needing some rests.
Yeah, he can't play every game. 36-year-olds just don't. And I mean, Ronaldo's a freak. We haven't seen anyone like him. Well, physically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's cost him.
It has. It has that win obviously pushed them out of the top four. They are now sitting sixth,
Yeah,
and Arsenal have a game in hand on them. So it's not looking pretty for them. Still plenty of time, of course, but it's not looking pretty. Not looking pretty there.
not at all.
Now, Aston Villa and Leeds. This might have been the most exciting game of the week.
Yeah.
What did you say of it?
I mean, I think we've made reference a couple of times. Aston Villa and Leeds are just two of the most exciting teams in the league. Seem to be plenty of goals, good goals at that. And yeah, I think I've said it before. Leeds are just fantastic to watch. I mean, they're not exactly a great football team, but they create good games more often than not. And yeah, this one wasn't any different. It was a wicked game. Dan James with a couple of goals. And Philippe Coutinho. That finish was a wicked little finish there. And Jacob Ramsay as well. He's putting together quite a bit of a season. I mean, I think a name that many people wouldn't have heard of. He's coming into the season.
Yeah.
He's really making people take notice.
100%. I mean, he's only 20 years of age. Prior to the season, he was out on loan or youth player at Villa. But I think what's really made a huge impact for him is the inclusion of Coutinho.
Yeah.
And you look at the instant impact that he's made, not only for himself, but for the players around him. He's brought in about 3 or 4 goals for Jacob Ramsay alone.
Yeah, they seem to be the new dynamic duo.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to ask you. But is the inclusion of Coutinho lifted that squad as a whole? Like, is what I'm trying to say is it just him alone, or is it like, I mean, you got to take into consideration obviously Steven Gerrard coming in as well, the new manager, a couple of new players. It's not just Coutinho coming in, but we are talking about Coutinho at the moment because it seems to be that he's made an instant impact.
Yeah, I would probably say, it would be majority of a Coutinho influence. There aren't many managers in the world, apart from Jurgen Klopp, who used him to good effect. Other than Steven Gerrard played alongside him, so he knows exactly what kind of player he's dealing with. Yep. So I think, coupled with, like you said, Steven Gerrard's influence and his knowledge of Coutinho's game, I think, he is, with those two together, are almost directly responsible for Aston Villa's uptick, I suppose, in performance.
Yeah. I mean, it's still early days for Coutinho. I think he's only played, was that 4 games roughly, maybe?
Yeah.
For Villa, but has he hit the strides of, would you say he's hit the strides of when the same sort of playing level as he did at Liverpool, or is he not quite back to that level yet?
I mean, Coutinho at his top level at Liverpool was like a PFA, a player of the year kind of candidate. He's not far, I would say. He's never going to get those raps playing for Aston Villa, I don't think, but the kind of performances we're seeing, I think he's not far from it. I mean, they're scoring goals, a lot more goals, and that's what he's there for. With absolutely. Him in the team, but they're probably not winning. It's probably not being reflected so much in the standings. I mean, Aston Villa aren't doing terribly, but they're not winning game after game after game.
Yeah.
But performance-wise, I think it's clicking for him and them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. 100% there. Tottenham and Southampton. I have a little chuckle to myself there because this is a classic Tottenham game right here.
It is, isn't it?
A little bit, like I was going to say a little bit of a choke. No, excuse me. That's a choke. that is a choke on their behalf. Excuse the language.
Oh, yeah.
That's a choke. That's a big choke on their behalf.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
monumental.
Yeah.
To be in control like that and to cough it up. I think it was 3 minutes. It was the 2 goals.
Yeah, in the
80th
space
and the 82nd minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if it was more down to James Ward-Prowse's brilliance or was it Spurs choking? Because I mean, yeah, they probably should have had him covered, but there are 2 peaches, absolute peaches of balls just thrown in.
There's not many other people in the Premier League that you would want on a ball, playing in those kind of balls than Ward-Prowse.
Those dead ball situations. I mean, it wasn't exactly dead ball, but
no.
he was afforded the time to take his time and set it up, have a bit of a not a ping, but put the ball where he wanted. And like you said, there aren't many people that give him the time. If you want a ball put on someone's head, you're probably going to take him before 100%. You take many other blokes in the Premier League.
You got to put him up there with I think the likes of Trent, Alexander-Arnold, and De Bruyne in terms of just the ability to put the ball into the box like that in a dangerous area. But in terms of the dead ball in free kicks, there isn't anyone as consistent as Ward-Prowse.
Consistent, I think, is the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just consistently a threat in a dead ball situation. The output may not be there, and that's probably more a reflection of Southampton's finishing ability, possibly, like purely just from like an assist point of view. He's putting the ball in dangerous spots time and time again.
Yeah,
I mean, you put him in a better team, and I think you'd see him just rack up assists.
Is there a reason why he hasn't maybe made the move to a bigger club? Is there no interest there, maybe, or?
It's one that's I've always found a bit strange. Maybe he just lacks something. We all talk about his dead ball accuracy. Maybe he just gets found out when they're under attack, I suppose, when they're on the back foot. I haven't watched his game close enough to sort of see where his overall weaknesses lie. It still does seem strange to me that he at least hasn't taken not to a top club, but even someone like an Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think he could fit into a team like that beautifully.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that a team like that, even like West Ham, something along those lines.
Yeah.
That would definitely suit him to a T, I think.
Yeah. West Ham have the weapons that he could provide some the chances too. Yeah.
I mean, you look at West Ham in terms of scoring from set pieces are one of the better sides. You had him into it, and that only makes them better.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's okay. So we're putting it down to the brilliance of James Ward-Prowse more so than a Tottenham collapse.
Yeah, I think so. I did see Kane's chance. He probably should have buried. There was that header at the far post
into the ground and then over the crossbar.
I mean, he would have been 3-4 yards out, if that. And he's managed to put it.
Give it Harry Kane from maybe a season or two ago. Surely he buries that.
It's buried, for sure. And I can't remember what the score was at that point, but they're probably coasting.
Yeah.
But Kane this year has just been just off.
Yeah.
I think it's odd because he's that player that we've banked. He's going to score 20 goals. He may not win the Golden Boot, but he's a threat.
Yeah.
And he's always in the top 3-5 players for the boot. But I mean, this season, he's not really anywhere to be seen.
A little bit of a hangover from the summer, the Euros and the transfer saga with City, perhaps.
I dare say, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm sure we'll see him back to his best next season, whether he stays on again with Tottenham or moves on somewhere else.
Yeah.
You can't keep a player like that quiet for too long.
No, he's too good. He has shown consistently that he is good, and I mean, players have off seasons.
Yeah.
Well, off seasons, off games, yeah, but he will be back.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no doubt. No doubt. Norwich Crystal Palace. That was ended up as a draw. We had Palace as a win, the two of us. Of course, it could have been different had Wilfred Zaha not scuffed that penalty.
Oh, that was horrific. It was dead awful. That I don't know. Just when I saw it, I just expected it, and I watched this game after the fact, and I just thought, so I didn't this game finish, because it was 1-1 at the time. He took the penalty.
Yep.
And I was thinking, didn't this game finish 1-1? Because I just expected him to bury it.
Yeah.
And I hadn't looked at who'd scored the goals, and then I saw that and I thought, Jesus, that was disgusting. It was, yeah. I mean, we spoke about it before, but I think you could have put half a goal next to the goal on that side that he missed, and I'm not sure it would have gone in. It was that bad. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's the way I saw it. It was just.
Well, you would now. I haven't seen it as of yet, but I've obviously heard that it was quite atrocious.
Do yourself a favor. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Watch it for a laugh.
Yeah, it's good viewing for the 19 other teams, but Palace supporters, you might want to be watching that again.
Yeah. What happened in that? Temi Pukki, minute in.
Yeah,
that's a goal.
Quickest goal in the league, I think, this season.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah.
I was going to mention a snatch and grab, but that's almost not really a snatch and grab, considering they were in front from minute one.
Yeah. No.
Stats-wise, they definitely weren't in control of that game, Norwich. But you can't call it a snatch and grab, really.
The possession, tell you that much as well. I mean, Crystal Palace dominated on the ball, but Norwich they're finding ways, and I can't quite remember their form line, but it's quite impressive for a team that we sort of were resigned to saying they're relegated and there's not much they can do about it. It's been a fairly inspired turnaround.
Well, since Dean Smith's come in and taken over the role, you're 100% right. They've gone on a bit of a run. They might not be winning every game, but they obviously pick points up against Everton. Sure, there was another game in there that they won too. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they've picked themselves up off the bottom of the table. They probably had 1 or 2 wins at that stage of the season, more than likely, and they're now only 1 point behind Newcastle in 17th. So there's definitely chance for a late escape from them.
Yeah, their form line makes for pretty good reading, to be honest. What's it? They were 7 points out of their last 3 games, and that takes them to 17 points. They had 10 points in their first 20 games.
Yeah.
They've made 7 in their last 3. Yeah. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
No.
And I think we all need to be reading them a little differently.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's got to be a credit to Dean Smith and the job that he's done there. He's managed to, in a short amount of time, figure out how to get the best out of those players.
Yeah.
And
all credit to him.
Props to him. He was a top manager, I thought, at Villa. And I was quite confused when did they sack him or did he leave? I can't quite remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Regardless, whether he left on terms or whether he was sacked, I thought it was a strange one anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he was doing a job there. So, but hey, he's gone to Norwich. He's continued to do a job there. So, like you said, I think we might have to pay a bit of a closer attention to Norwich from here on out.
I think just looking at this relegation battle a bit closer, I mean, Norwich and Newcastle are making a run for it.
Yep.
The next team there is Everton, and they are looking probably just as bad as Watford and Burnley. So who's to say that they can't turn around?
Yeah.
Everton. Wouldn't that be a joy to see?
Oh, it'd be a joy from our perspective. I know a few people who it wouldn't be a joy to, but they absolutely have to
Mm.
start to consider themselves in a serious relegation battle. There's no doubt about it.
I think the sooner that they do consider themselves in a relegation battle, they might fight a bit harder, and they
Yeah,
might.
absolutely.
That's probably what they need to drag themselves out.
Mm, mm. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point. That's definitely a good point. We got 3 games left. City and Brentford. City played out the 2-0 win there. We chose not to go bold on that prediction last recording, and it worked out because it was only 2-0, albeit a quite convincing win in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Brentford, I mean, like we've commented on so many times, just their inability to score goals is going to cost them. I think it's 6 losses on the trot now. I think in all competitions. But City were kind of gifted a few of those goals. Well, when I say a few, there were only 2, and they were gifted both of them. There was the penalty, and it was a deserved penalty.
Yep.
And the keeper making a bit of a hash of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And De Bruyne slotting in. It was kind of a freebie for City.
It's an interesting way of looking at it. Like, I mean, they completely dominated the side of possession. But
from that point, it was convincing. Yeah,
but the job was done at 2-0. So did they maybe take the foot off the pedal a little bit? They had 15 shots, only 7 on target. So it's probably not the more dominant display that we're sort of used to seeing from City. Maybe
that's probably the angle that I'm coming at it from. Yeah, it wasn't the dominant, just all conquering City that we've become used to this season.
Yeah.
It was City scraping by, 2-0 win. I want to say scraping by. The goals didn't ooze class. We used to Rodri or Cancelo banging in a weldy, or the what's his name? The centre back,
Diaz. Laporte, yeah.
Or Diaz, getting on the end of a corner. Or De Bruyne banging it. I mean, he scored, but it wasn't his best effort. It's those kind of performances we're used to. And I mean, they got the 3 points. That's what they want. I mean,
that's the way they'll look at it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're far enough ahead that points are all that matters at this point.
I suppose on the side of Brentford, they're missing their marquee signing. Christian Eriksen didn't play, wasn't in the side. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes for him to get up to the speed of things. I had him down as the signing of the window. I think you had Coutinho from memory, or did you go with Eriksen as well? I don't remember. It was one of the two.
I think I had Coutinho.
Yeah, from memory. Yeah. So look, Brentford aren't looking good at the moment. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But when he finally when Christian Eriksen finally gets to step into the side, it'll be interesting to see how much of an impact he can make there.
Oh, for sure. He's going to have some sort of impact. How much is yet to be seen, but I can't see how a player of that quality can't at least bring the rest of the squad to somewhere near his level.
And Brentford were also missing one Ivan Toney, probably for reasons well known.
Yeah, reasons that we cannot repeat on this podcast. But
yeah. I mean, so I don't know if Toney makes a comeback when Eriksen comes into the squad, maybe some things start to click there. Maybe they'll start to pick up a few points here and there. They're not really in any danger, I think, to going down. So I suppose they've got that on their side. I suppose they're a bit lucky in that sense that they had a better start to the season than some of the others that are down there. So look, it's Brentford. They'll probably stick to the mid-table position that they're on, and then they'll keep going next season.
The form's worrying, without a doubt. But I think they've shown that I think the early season form showed that there's enough there. If they can just capture some of that form, I personally, I think they're not going to be far away from the relegation zone come season's end, but they've got too much to go down.
Yeah. I agree. They'll at this point get through the rest of the season, then tackle next season, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. Second to last, Wolves played out a 1-0 loss to the Gunners. This match had a fairly interesting point to it, and I'm sure you know what I'm going to ask you, because I don't think I've seen anything like this in my life. Have you ever seen 2 yellow cards given to one player in the same passage of play before?
No, that was really odd. And I mean, Martinelli was fully deserved of that red card, in my opinion. I don't know. I haven't read if there's much conjecture over that, but to me, the first one where he basically toppled the bloke on the sideline. I'm pretty sure that's what the first one was given for.
Yeah.
And then just charging through. I'm not sure who the attacker was, the Wolves attacker, but yeah, he just charged through the back of him. And it's a weird situation, but fully warranted.
Yeah. Like I don't even know where to put my 2 cents about it, because it's just odd. Like, and I've seen a couple of sports pundits in the UK say, almost throw shade at the referee, saying that it was not necessarily an incorrect decision, but it's almost like he just wants to put himself in the limelight or something like that. I don't know if I entirely agree with it. Like, if those 2 situations had happened in 2 separate plays, they probably would both warrant a yellow card. I think for the simple fact that it literally happened in the same passage of play.
Yeah.
Is what makes it quite a unique situation. But at the same time, I almost feel like situations like that have happened before, where, let's say, a tackle's made on the halfway line by someone and the advantage is played, and then the play continues and another foul is given somewhere else further up the pitch. The referee always comes back to that first incident, books the player. But what's to say that the second challenge that issued the free kick also wasn't a yellow card worthy challenge or anything like that? I feel like that challenge is almost just forgotten about, and they go back to the first one. Maybe because it's the same player, Martinelli, causing both fouls. But yeah, it's a strange one, for sure.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I agree with the point where isolate both incidents and they're both yellow cards. And I think, I think it was Michael Oliver, the referee.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean, he's no stranger to controversy, but I think that's given the nature of he's a big game referee. So I think that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was warranted. I tend to disagree with the umpire. The referee trying to be center of attention. But I mean, the pure and simple, you isolate the incidents, and it's an odd thing to happen because we haven't seen two yellow cards in the same passage of play. But you isolate the incidents, and I think they're both yellow card worthy. And catch you later. Yeah.
It didn't. Luckily for Arsenal, it didn't end up making too much of a difference for them. They were 1-0 up at that point. Gabriel, with their goal. But of course, it obviously put some pressure on. They have to play out the remainder, about 20 minutes of that game with 10 men. But they got there in the end. And a big result for them. That puts them in 5th, point behind West Ham. So definitely a good result for Arsenal. They'll miss Martinelli for a game because he's been playing well for them. But
I think as a young player, he'll learn those things. And the brain fades. He'll learn to cut that out. And he's going to want to if he wants to fulfill his potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And first, the second challenge. Oh, actually, I don't really think any of the challenges were necessary. Definitely not the first one. There's no need to get in the player's face when he's taking the throw. And
Yeah.
I feel like he only did the second one because of what he did at the throw-in. There's no need to commit a foul
He was
there.
just rattled.
Yeah.
The second one, he was just rattled. And that's just the inexperience of a young player. Just really coming through, and he's paying the price.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well, he's got to live with that, doesn't he?
He does. You live and you learn.
You do. You do. You certainly do.
Yeah, hopefully you learn.
Hopefully. Yeah. The last game was this morning for us, Friday morning. It was Liverpool and Leicester. Now, just looking back at our notes, we had Liverpool both down as a win, but not maybe not as convincing as what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester didn't really look all that threatening for me.
No, I think they registered a shot, 2 shots on target. There weren't many.
Shot on target, yeah.
Yeah. And we've mentioned Leicester just becoming a little toothless. Just not quite. There's plenty of good players in that squad, but they're just not clicking. And I haven't seen any betting markets, but Brendan Rodgers is on the hot seat.
You would have to think
he has
so.
to be. He's got to be right up there for one of the next managers to get sacked, because there's like I said, there's just too much in that squad to be sitting. I'm not sure where they're sitting, but they'd be comfortably in the bottom
12th at the moment. They're sitting.
Yeah, I would have said definitely below halfway. So he's gonna have to watch out, or he's gonna have to turn something around, because it's not where they belong.
No, it's definitely not what we're accustomed to seeing Leicester position-wise in the table, and just performance-wise in general from the last couple of seasons from them anyway. So, yeah, look, I mean, Brendan Rodgers has got them to the point where they're at, but is he now struggling to take him that next step?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think they may need to bring someone else to. I think he's peaked with them. It's stagnating under his leadership, and I think they might need a new set of coach. A new team to
take him that next step.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fair enough. On the behalf of Liverpool, there was talks early on during the week that Salah would be ready for the game. He was, but not to start. He obviously was on the bench. But that of course meant first Premier League start and a debut for Luis Diaz.
Yeah, it was quite good. I think early signs are good. It's an early debut as far as Klopp's concerned.
Very early.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of followed their signings a little bit closer than most other clubs, I'd imagine, and he tends to take a while to put his guys in. But I saw some comments saying that he looks like a Liverpool player, fits into the system seamlessly. So the decision was made to put him in.
Yeah, no, he definitely impressed me from the debut. So, I think he played the whole game. No,
I think he came off
right at the end. Call it a full 90 minutes, but
not far off. Yeah.
Good to give him a full 90.
Yeah,
and for Salah, good to have him back in the team.
Yeah, I think not starting him was the right decision.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's been vindicated with the result, but I worry that all those extra time games at AFCON, he's at risk of burnout, and we're only at the middle of February.
But I must admit, when he came on, it didn't look like he missed a stride, really.
No,
he hit the crossbar.
No.
He had a couple of chances. He was his usual dancing feet through the defenders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like he's taken 2 weeks off. He's obviously still been playing.
Yeah. He's
you
still got
you make
touch.
a good point.
Yeah, I just wonder. I mean, Liverpool are still battling on 4 fronts. I almost said we then. Liverpool battling on 4 fronts. So I think, they've got to take a cautious approach to Salah for the next few weeks. I think with the FA Cup, maybe he misses out.
I think he misses out on the FA Cup final. Oh, not the FA Cup,
no,
sorry,
League
the
Cup.
League Cup, sorry.
League Cup he'll play. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they haven't won that trophy for a little while, so I think they got to go all guns blazing there. But yeah, the cup games, I think. Obviously, the Champions League, you go full strength, but the FA Cup might be where he sits out a few.
Yeah, it's possible. It's where they do tend to rest a few of their players with a bit more game time under the belt. So it's a smart choice, and one that they're welcome to because of the depth of their squad. So they're lucky to have that.
The strength and depth just over the last few years is ridiculous.
Can I just touch on Jota real quickly before we move on? Obviously, gets a brace. In the absence of Salah and Mane, he's continued to thrive. He is still the second highest goal scorer behind Salah. And I believe with these two, he only puts him maybe 3 or 4 behind.
He's 4 behind, yeah.
But I don't. Yeah. I feel like he's not quite talked enough. I don't know if he's overshadowed by Salah, or not even necessarily just overshadowed in the Liverpool side, but just overshadowed as a striker in general in Premier League.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is there a reason?
I don't know.
Give it a reason.
I think I'd probably put it down to the fact he's not scoring worldies like Salah does. He's not highlight reel.
Yeah.
His production is like through the roof. It's great. And given his goal scoring record in the last couple of months, he's been great. But he's not amazing through defenders, through 3 defenders to score a goal like Salah is every second week. Yeah. That's, to me, is probably the only reason why he's not getting the plaudits like Salah does. But he's doing exactly the same kind of work in terms of an end product. So it seems a bit ridiculous at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, he's just doing what he's doing in the background, I suppose. Doesn't seem to faze him too much. So,
and I think that might be the beauty of it. That might be why. I mean, you've got the 3-headed monster, and I mean, it was Diaz yesterday, but with Mane, well, call it the 4-headed monster if you want.
Yeah.
with Mane and Diaz being pretty interchangeable. Jota just floats in, and I mean, he's a pest in the box.
Yeah.
He knows exactly where to be. Defenders are too busy trying to mark the wings, and up he pops. And the goals he scored against Leicester weren't, like I said, they're not worldies, but he's just there at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's what you need sometimes, of course, from your striker. That's what they're there for. They're there for that and poacher's finish almost.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's about time. As sad as it is, it's about time that Jota became he's in the first 11, and Firmino's just he's
not
but a footnote at the moment. He's a bench player at this point. You got to roll with a hot hand, and Firmino's just not it.
Yeah, no, that's a fair call. Look, it's not a bad headache to have from the perspective of Liverpool.
No, when you got to put 2 of Firmino, Jota, Diaz, Mane, and Salah on the bench, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely, sure. Okay, that covers the previous weeks. We've got our team of the weeks for that match week, as always, a little bit differently this time around. We spoke off camera before, a little bit over our team of the weeks. It is quite majority the same this week, to be honest. Look, we both picked Virgil van Dijk and Gabriel as the 2 centre backs. We had a midfield of Ward-Prowse, De Bruyne, and Jacob Ramsay from Villa, and Coutinho, Jota, and Dan James finished off the front 3. Those picks almost picked themselves, but is there anyone there that really stands out for you as maybe your player of the week?
I'm going to say the fact it got them the 3 points, his brilliance, I'm going to say Ward-Prowse.
Okay, yeah.
I
no,
really
interesting.
wanted to say Coutinho,
Yeah,
but I mean, the fact that Ward-Prowse, he directly contributed to 2 goals that gave Southampton quite a valuable 3 points.
Mm.
I'm going to give it to him just for that. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a good pick. I would have probably picked Coutinho personally. Obviously, goal, 2 assists, and a man of the match. But Prowse is definitely a fair pick. Like you
I think
said.
you could go either way with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously we just touched on Jota, 2 goals. They were his 100th and 101st goal of his club career. So a bit of a personal milestone for him.
Yeah.
And James, 2 goals as well. I think that's his 4th or 5th for Leicester now. He started to hit the score sheet a little bit more consistently in recent weeks. De Bruyne seems like he's just a casual pick. Leeds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thought I'd just.
Yeah. De Bruyne seems like he's just almost a guarantee in these Team of the Weeks as of recently. I think he might have even been in all 3 of mine so far.
I think he's been in all 3 so far.
Yeah.
When I made that pick, I thought, well, I mean, you can't kick someone out just because they've been in all of them.
No.
I mean, if he's playing well, he's playing well. You got to put him in.
Yeah, definitely. And Ramsay as well. We spoke about him. Obviously, he got his 2 goals thanks to the brilliance of Coutinho. Yeah. He's really starting to. He's really hitting his strides. With the help
starting to shine.
Yeah. Well, we did get 3 different picks. Our keeper and our fullbacks were different. You want to share with us your picks there?
Yeah. Look, the keeper. It feels silly giving it to a keeper on a losing side, but Kasper Schmeichel, that really could have been 4 or 5-0. Liverpool played well, forced plenty of good saves. The save on Salah with the fast break stands out for me. Salah's usually dinking them over the keeper, and that seems to be his trademark goal lately. And there were plenty of other good saves that really, I mean, Leicester were toothless and we're never really in the game, but it really saved their blushes. I think he had 9 saves for the game. So it's a fair effort.
Yeah, it's a big performance and a fair pick, for sure. Who did you have in the fullbacks, mate?
Fullback. Who did I have? It was Matt Cash. Mm-hmm. The assist for Villa there was pretty handy. Was it? Yeah, Villa. Yeah.
He assisted Coutinho first.
Yeah, and I mean, it was really, to be honest, it was really hard to pick fullbacks this week. There weren't a hell of a lot of standout performances, but I mean, when you're producing. I love an attacking fullback, so I mean he gets a nod at left back for me, and I'm going to go Andy Robertson down the right. Didn't directly contribute to any goals or assists, but keeping the clean sheet, even though Leicester, as we mentioned, weren't setting records. He's formed quite a decent. Partnership with Diaz down that side.
Yeah,
I think they work quite well together, and I think it's going to be a sign of things to come. Those two are going to, once Diaz finds his feet, I think we'll see a lot more production out of. Not that he hasn't been producing, but I think we're going to see maybe Robbo at another level.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick. That it definitely didn't look like a new partnership between Robertson and Diaz. So, as you said,
the fact that they've
the more game time, the more game time they get together, the better it's going to get. So, definitely. Oh no, that's good. Good picks. My 3 different players. Of course, we'll start with the keeper. Was Ramsdale.
Yeah,
clean sheet.
I like that pick.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably between the 2, Ramsdale and Schmeichel. But The fact that he got the clean sheet, he made 4 saves and was man of the match for Arsenal in a important win for them. The fact that when they went down to 10 men, obviously made his job probably a little bit harder. So
Yeah.
Props to him. He goes in there for me. Kieran Trippier slots in at right back. Probably simple fact of the goal. Mainly goals and assists.
Beautiful goal.
Goals and assists can pretty much cement a fullback in a team of the week like this, I feel.
Oh yeah.
But it was his first goal for Newcastle. A real peach of a free kick. He's not. Let's say it's not unusual for him to score a free kick like that. We've seen it before from him in an England shirt. Yeah. So good to get one under the belt for Newcastle there. And Luke Shaw wraps it up for me as the left back. Again, just for the pure fact that he got an assist. The fullbacks are hard. Were definitely hard for this week, I think.
I like those picks. Yeah, I completely, when I was putting my team of the week together, I completely forgot about Trippier's goal. I mean, it was a peach. It was wonderful. Yeah. And Shaw was he was a pretty good attacking outlet down that left side. So I think they're really good picks.
Cool. That's good, mate. That's good. So we ended off as usual with this upcoming week's games. We've got games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Back to the standard match week, which is handy for us.
Yeah.
There's a couple of big games in there. There's probably one marquee match. Where's it gone? Grab that. I must have lost it. I must be looking at the wrong week. Nevertheless, we'll start off with Man United and Southampton. This is one of the ones where I'm going to learn my lesson, and I'm not going to back United this time. I am going to back Southampton. I don't care that it's at Old Trafford. I'm going to back Southampton. They're playing the better football at the moment.
Yeah,
they've done a number on a couple of the top teams. So straight out the bat, not thinking too much about it. I'm going Southampton for the win there.
Yeah, no, I like that. That Southampton took 3 points at Spurs this week. So who's to say they can't do it at Old Trafford too? I think they're playing pretty well, so I'm going to back you there. I'll go Southampton too. Yeah.
Interesting pick. Brentford and Crystal Palace. I think we all know where this one might go, but
yeah,
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm backing Palace. I don't think they probably haven't been convincing, but neither have Brentford. But it'll be interesting if Eriksen plays. I'm not sure how far off he is.
Yeah.
I think that he can really change their fortunes, and that's a game where I think he could have a real impact. But on the face of it, Palace for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Palace have been certainly the better of the two teams. They've impressed us in the last couple of weeks. They impressed against Liverpool.
Yeah.
They impressed to a degree in the week just gone. Of course, probably should have won had Zaha converted, but yeah, you can suppose put that down to unfortunate not to win that game, I suppose. But yeah, the fact that it's Brentford, I think, can give Palace a win there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Everton and Leeds. If I may, once again, I'm no longer going to back Everton. This is a Leeds win.
yeah, Leeds all the way.
and when you think about it, in the scheme of things, that's a massive game because Leeds are the ones on top of Everton, 4 points clear.
Yeah,
if they win that game, then that really puts pressure on Everton.
It feels like a bit of a 6-pointer, the old cliched 6-pointer.
Yeah,
I mean, it couldn't be. Everton couldn't be more desperate for points right now, and to steal points, well, not steal, but to prevent Leeds from having any at the same time. I mean, and with the game in hand, that would be. It really turns it to an advantage Everton if they can get up there.
Yeah,
it's advantage. It's huge for the relegation race.
I think obviously the best Everton can hope for is obviously a win, but given their current form, the way I look at it is the best result they'll get is a draw. And in which case it doesn't put further damage on them and it doesn't give Leeds a further advantage.
It maintains the status quo, really.
Yeah.
It just keeps everything the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that's probably the best case scenario from my perspective for Everton. But I've backed them in these picks too many times and they've let me down. So I'm going Leeds on this one.
Yeah, I've been burnt way too many times. I've learnt my lesson. Just anyone but Everton.
Good. Watford Brighton is next. Big game. Obviously, every game is a big game for Watford and for the relegation battle there. But I'm probably going to back Brighton again here. They're just the better side for me.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It's at Vicarage Road. I don't think it really counts for a hell of a lot here. Watford have just been pretty woeful, and Brighton have been plodding along. I think, they should win. I could maybe see a 1-1 draw, maybe. Yeah, the best Watford could hope for to me is a draw, but Brighton win. Is my pick.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree on that front. Norwich and City at Carrow Road. Now, without getting too carried away once again, this is the type of game where City could really put the foot to the pedal. Yeah,
but the Norwich have been performing. Like we touched on earlier. I think it's 7 points in the last
possible
3
9
games.
Yeah,
exactly. So it could be a banana skin game for City. It could be a game where if everything doesn't click, I mean, we've seen Angus Gunn keep him in games off his own gloves. Look, he'd have a hard time doing it against City, but this isn't a fellow relegation battler. This is probably one of the top 5 teams in the world, but stranger things have happened. But,
we've seen it happen before. Norwich have taken points off City before.
Yeah,
at Carrow Road a few years ago. So
there's something of a bogey team, for want of a better term, but I think City will keep going. City win for me.
Yeah, no, as much as we've just spoken about Norwich, this is a City. This has got to be a City win. It's got it written all over it. Again, the best case scenario for Norwich, I reckon, is a draw again.
Stealing a point.
A point. It'd be a real big point. But it's going to be difficult to stop City.
Absolutely.
Sure. Likewise for Burnley, they'll have Liverpool. It is at Turf Moor, but I think for the same reasons, it's going to be tough to stop Liverpool. I don't know if Mane will be back this week. I don't know exactly when he comes back, but Salah's back. You would expect him to probably start this game. Well, I would anyway. So Liverpool will almost be back to a full strength 11.
Yeah.
So I've got to back Liverpool there.
Yeah, back Liverpool. Interesting with the short turnaround whether they do. I know Salah he didn't play the full 90. He was subbed on against Leicester. This is another like what United did. They rested Ronaldo. Well, not rested, but parked him on the bench for 2/3 of the game. Do they do that again with Salah? I suppose they've already done it. And he could be one of those players who thrives off more time on ground. But I mean, I think we're just picking little holes here. Liverpool should win this comfortably.
Yeah. And they will play this game after City have already played. So it's in the grand scheme of things, if City win, then Liverpool have to win to keep that pace with them up the top.
Yeah. So I think by that point they'll be so they're 9 points ahead, I think.
They are 9 points ahead currently. Yep, 9 points.
So it'll be 12
the game
when
in
they
hand.
go to. By the time they go to play, it'll be 12. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So they're the best bet for Liverpool at the moment.
If City win.
Yeah.
Here I'm just chalking it down as a win.
Yeah. Anything can happen, but no, they definitely want to keep the points to 9 up at least until they play their catch-up game whenever
For
that
sure.
may be. I actually think that's coming up. Their catch-up game with Leicester, I believe that's either been rescheduled or I feel like I've read that somewhere, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Nevertheless, we move on. Newcastle and Aston Villa, probably two of the more exciting sides in the in the
Yeah.
league at the moment.
Yeah.
It's at St James's Park. Where this one could go either way, but I'm interested to hear what you where you think this one would go.
Uh, Look, I'm going to pick a draw. I'm going to pick a
Okay.
2-2 draw here, just to be specific. Both teams, I mean, Aston Villa have shown that they can score. Newcastle have had a bit of a turn of pace in the last few weeks, and with their new signings, they continue to gel. I mean, when I say continue, there's 2 days between now and then, so how much can happen? But yeah, I mean, they've shown an uptick in form, so why can't they steal a point there? And I think even though they're at home, a draw against Aston Villa would be classed as stealing a point.
Yeah, that would be a big result for them. It's a tough way. It is a tough one to call because, like we just said, both teams they're playing well. Newcastle are starting to click. Villa have continued their form since Steven Gerrard's come in. So, if I've got to pick, I'll say Villa, but it'll be narrow.
Yeah.
I think there is a little bit more quality in Villa's side. Yeah, I think if the fairy tale run's about to end for Newcastle, I think it might come here. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna back Villa on this one. I've probably again I'm going against my whole what I've picked throughout the whole thing because I've backed everybody except Newcastle in the last few weeks, and I've always got it wrong. But I'm gonna on this one occasion I'm gonna continue to go against them. I'm gonna go Villa.
Yeah, no, Villa have been playing well enough. They've been scoring enough, and I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
they can tighten it up at the back. Then who knows? Good. Yeah,
definitely. The last game on Sunday is Spurs and Wolves at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
This is a tough one. Yeah. Well, I'm going to draw again. We just seen what Spurs. You say what Spurs did against Southampton, and I that's wrong. Southampton did that to Spurs.
Yeah,
and I think, it was one man's brilliance. I know I'm waxing lyrical on Ward Prowse, but it takes a team to score. I get that, but there were two very similar. There was one common denominator in why they won. Enough about Southampton. Look, Spurs haven't been convincing. It's a draw. It's a 1-1 draw for me, I think. Wolves haven't been awful, but I don't know. It just feels like two teams that are just treading water.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a tough one to choose. Obviously, Spurs are coming off the back of a poor loss for them. Wolves coming off of a loss as well. It's a tough pick. It's a tough pick for sure. I feel like it'll either be a draw or it'll be like a 1-0 either side.
Yeah.
We've spoken on here before about Wolves defensively. They are quite solid. They don't concede a whole lot. And Tottenham's forward line, they're not quite firing at the moment. So we could even potentially see a 0-0 draw play out.
A stalemate,
Which should be really fun to watch.
Could be on the cards,
Yeah, so, but again, if I've got to pick, I'll have to say a draw. I'll have to say a draw. Can't really pick. Can't really split the two.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm just trying to find the difference there. I just don't think there's, to me, they just can't find one.
Yeah. No, I'd agree, 100%. And the last game, which is Monday morning, is Leicester West Ham. That's a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah. One, in seasons gone by, you'd think would have a little bit more of a importance towards the Europa League standings, but with Leicester playing the way they are, and West Ham playing the way they are, they're finding themselves a little far away from each other. For me, I'm taking West Ham. We've made a bit of a deal about how Leicester really just aren't performing at the moment, and West Ham are getting it done, and I think they'll get it done again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think West Ham will get it done. I can't see a high scoring game.
No,
but I think I think they'll win.
Yeah.
Leicester they're not quite at the races at the moment. So, and West Ham are hitting strides,
ticking along,
and they need to keep it up to maintain that top 4 position. So, in the grand scheme of things for them, anyway, that's an important game. So,
for sure. Yeah.
I think we've just about covered everything here. Got anything you want to add right at the end here, mate?
No, I think we're just stoked to see Premier League football back, and
feels like it's been a long 2 weeks.
yeah, I know. I mean, we've obviously covered a few other things. Statchat sports wise, but it feels good to be talking about football again.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh well, mate, it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. We are live on Spotify now. All the pods will be going on Spotify as well. If you prefer to listen rather than to watch, we'll put the link in the description of the video. So please check that out as well. Make sure you're following us on all the social medias to stay up to date. Plenty of clips, plenty of videos going out, not just on football, but in plenty of other sports as well. So make sure you're letting us know how we're going, and if there's anything in particular you want us to cover, we'd be more than happy to oblige. So thanks for joining us, TV. I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Great chatting.
See you, mate.
See ya.